Hello, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Facts. Tonight, we'll be drifting together through the quiet wonders of our own planet. We'll explore the remarkable ways life has learned not only to survive here on Earth, but to truly flourish. Life surrounds us in forms both familiar and unseen. It glows softly in the deep ocean, clings stubbornly to rocks in the driest deserts, and drifts invisibly through the very air we breathe. Some living beings have remained almost unchanged for hundreds of millions of years, while others endure environments so extreme they seem completely impossible. Each creature is like a small miracle, carrying a fragment of a vast puzzle that connects all living things. Together, they form a story far older and richer than we often imagine. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, you're warmly invited to like and subscribe, or to share your favorite fact in the comments below. It helps other sleepy minds find their way here as well, one quiet soul at a time. But for now, there's nothing you need to do at all. Simply rest. Breathe slowly and deeply. Let your thoughts soften as you listen, allowing the stories of life to unfold around you. And so, let us begin. Life on Earth may have first emerged in the depths of the sea, near hydrothermal vents hidden far below the surface. When we imagine the origins of life, it's easy to picture warm ponds beneath a gentle sun. Yet many scientists now believe the story may have started in the darkest places imaginable. Deep-sea hydrothermal vents are strange, chimney-like structures that release scalding water rich with minerals from deep within Earth's crust. Though this environment sounds harsh and unwelcoming, the chemistry taking place there is extraordinary. The minerals released by these vents act like natural catalysts, creating tiny chambers where simple molecules may have assembled into more complex forms. Some researchers believe these mineral pockets served as Earth's very first laboratories, sheltered spaces where the fragile beginnings of life were protected from the chaos of the young planet. Even today, these vents are alive with creatures that thrive without sunlight, drawing energy directly from Earth's internal chemistry. It's humbling to imagine that our shared story may not have begun with warmth and light, but with heat, pressure, and darkness. Some living creatures can even survive being frozen solid. Imagine turning into ice, completely frozen, and then waking up again as though nothing had happened. For certain organisms, this isn't fantasy. It's a strategy for survival. In North America, for example, wood frogs can allow their bodies to freeze almost entirely during winter. Their hearts stop beating. Blood no longer flows. And yet, they do not die. Special chemicals in their bodies, including high concentrations of glucose, act as natural antifreeze, protecting their cells from damage. When spring arrives and the ice melts, these frogs thaw out and hop away unharmed, as if winter never touched them. Insects and tiny invertebrates have evolved similar abilities, enduring deep freezes that would be fatal to most other life forms. These remarkable adaptations remind us that life is not fragile. It is endlessly inventive, capable of enduring even states that resemble suspended animation. It's as though Earth itself has written into life's script the power to pause, and then gently begin again. There are also animals that live entirely without sunlight. We tend to think of the sun as the ultimate source of all life. Plants absorb its energy, animals consume plants, and the cycle continues. But far beneath the ocean surface, where light can never reach, entire ecosystems thrive in complete darkness. Around hydrothermal vents, blind crabs, giant tube worms, and ghostly fish flourish in abundance. Instead of sunlight, they rely on chemosynthesis, a process in which bacteria harvest energy from chemicals such as hydrogen sulfide released by the vents. These bacteria form the foundation of a food chain that thrives without a single photon of light. Deep underground, in caves far from the surface, other species have adapted in similar ways. Their eyes shrink or disappear altogether, while their senses of touch and smell become exquisitely refined. Life, it seems, is not bound to light at all costs. It can build entire worlds in darkness, shaping itself to whatever conditions exist. Jellyfish have drifted through Earth's oceans for more than 500 million years. They are older than dinosaurs, older than trees, older than almost anything we recognize as life today. For over 500 million years, jellyfish have pulsed gently through the seas, surviving mass extinctions that erased countless other species. Their bodies are almost otherworldly. Simple sacs of tissue made of about 95% water, with no bones, no brains, and no hearts. And yet, their design is so effective that it has changed very little across immense spans of time. Sometimes they glow with soft, ethereal light. Sometimes they gather in blooms so vast they can be seen from space. Despite their simplicity, jellyfish are extraordinary survivors, capable of regenerating damaged parts and thriving in waters where many fish cannot. Watching a jellyfish drift slowly through the sea feels like gazing directly into deep time itself, witnessing a design that has endured for 500 million years and shows no sign of fading. Some microbes can even eat rocks for energy. Most of us imagine life feeding on plants, animals, or sunlight. But certain microorganisms have a very different menu. They draw energy directly from minerals and stone. These organisms, known as lithotrophs, strip electrons from substances such as iron, sulfur, and even uranium, using chemical reactions to fuel their lives. Deep beneath Earth's surface, where no light and no organic food ever reach, entire microbial communities survive on this strange diet. Some scientists believe these microbes offer a glimpse of what life on other planets might look like: simple, resilient, and capable of drawing energy from bare rock. Remarkably, they can even alter the chemistry of their surroundings, slowly reshaping the minerals they inhabit. Over billions of years, such invisible life forms may have helped shape Earth itself. When we think about resilience, it's worth imagining these unseen miners, patiently feeding on stone in complete darkness, thriving where almost nothing else could. The oldest known living organisms on Earth are more than 10,000 years old. When we measure our own lives in decades, the ages of these beings feel almost impossible to grasp. Deep in the Arctic, vast clonal colonies of seagrass, known as Posidonia oceanica, have been alive for over 10 millennia, quietly spreading beneath the waves. On land, certain clonal trees tell a similar story. One of the most famous is the quaking aspen, known as Pando in Utah, a forest made of tens of thousands of trunks that are all genetically identical. Though it appears to be many trees, Pando is actually a single organism, connected by one immense root system that has endured for thousands of years. These ancient life forms have witnessed ice ages advance and retreat, climates shift, and countless generations of animals and humans come and go. They remind us that longevity in nature is not always about a single body lasting forever, but about continuity. A living system that persists by renewing itself again and again. To stand in the presence of such beings is to feel time stretch outward, as though the heartbeat of Earth itself is measured not in years, but in forests growing and oceans breathing. Some trees can clone themselves across millennia. Trees may seem still and solitary, but many carry a quiet secret, the ability to replicate themselves. When branches touch the ground, they can take root, sending up new trunks over time. Species such as willows and poplars spread this way, forming vast stands that are genetically identical. Pando, often called the trembling giant, is the most famous example. Its forest of roughly 40,000 stems is thought to be tens of thousands of years old. Unlike animals, which usually live and die as individuals, trees can persist by spreading themselves outward, allowing new growth to rise as older trunks decay. A forest can be both mortal and immortal at once, ancient yet constantly renewing. It is a reminder that life can bend time not only through endurance, but by quietly distributing itself across generations. In Oregon, a single fungus covers nearly 10 square kilometers. Hidden beneath the forests of the Blue Mountains lies one of the largest living organisms on Earth, a fungus called Armillaria ostoyae. On the surface, it appears as nothing more than scattered mushrooms emerging from the forest floor. But below ground, an enormous web of filaments called mycelium stretches across nearly 10 square kilometers, all connected as one being. This colossal organism is thousands of years old and weighs hundreds of tons. Though it grows invisibly, its reach surpasses that of the largest animals. Its filaments invade tree roots, slowly digesting wood and recycling the forest from within. As you walk through those woods, you might believe you're surrounded by countless separate trees and fungi, but in truth, you are standing on the living skin of a single giant. It is both eerie and awe-inspiring, a reminder that Earth is filled with secret titans, quietly shaping the world beneath our feet. There are more microbes in your body than human cells. If you think of yourself as a single individual, science offers a humbling correction. You are an ecosystem. For every human cell in your body, there are at least as many microbial companions, and often more. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, and archaea inhabit your skin, your mouth, your gut, and even your internal tissues. Together, they are known as the microbiome. These tiny organisms influence digestion, immunity, mood, and energy. Many are essential to survival. Without them, we could not live. Others coexist peacefully, neither helping nor harming, forming a vast, shifting community within you. This inner ecosystem changes constantly with diet, environment, and experience. When you realize that so much of you is microbial, it becomes clear that life is never solitary. Even within our own bodies, we are networks, a quiet collaboration of countless beings sharing a single vessel. Tardigrades can survive the vacuum of space. Often called water bears, tardigrades are tiny creatures that resemble wrinkled, eight-legged pillows with snouts. They are smaller than a millimeter, yet their resilience is legendary. When conditions become harsh, When water disappears, temperatures plummet, or radiation surges, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis. They dry out almost completely, suspending their metabolism. In this state, they can endure extremes that would destroy nearly all other life. Scientists have frozen them, boiled them, blasted them with radiation, and even exposed them to the vacuum of space. And still, they survive. After years in suspended animation, they can be revived simply by adding water. Their secret lies in special proteins and sugars that stabilize their cells, protecting DNA and membranes from damage. They are living proof that life can persist where survival seems impossible. And if creatures like tardigrades exist here on Earth, it invites a quiet question. What else might endure on distant worlds? Some fish can change sex during their lifetimes. Beneath the ocean's surface, sex is not always fixed. Many fish possess the remarkable ability to switch sex as circumstances demand. In clownfish communities, the largest and most dominant individual becomes female, while the others remain male. If she dies, the next largest male transforms into a female, ensuring the group's survival. In wrasses and groupers, individuals may change from male to female or the reverse, depending on social balance. These transformations involve profound biological shifts. Reproductive organs reorganize, hormone levels change, and behavior adapts. Nature reminds us that categories we often consider rigid can be fluid. In the ocean, survival favors flexibility, and these fish embody life's ability to rewrite its own rules in order to continue. The axolotl can regenerate parts of its brain. The axolotl, sometimes called the Mexican walking fish, is no ordinary amphibian. With feathery gills, a perpetual smile, and a youthful appearance, it already feels otherworldly. But its true marvel lies in regeneration. Unlike humans who heal with scars, axolotls can regrow entire limbs, spinal cords, hearts, and even portions of their brains. When injured, specialized cells revert to a flexible, stem cell-like state, rebuilding missing structures with astonishing precision. Scientists study axolotls closely, hoping to unlock secrets that could one day transform human medicine. For the axolotl, regeneration is not a miracle. It is simply life as usual, a natural rhythm of renewal that keeps it endlessly resilient in the waters it calls home. Some frogs can hold their breath for months. In the cold stillness of winter, certain frogs perform a feat that seems almost impossible. They stop breathing altogether. Buried beneath mud or fallen leaves, they enter a suspended state that allows them to endure months of cold and darkness. The marsh frog, for example, can remain underwater for long periods, absorbing oxygen directly through its skin. Some species slow their metabolism to such an extreme degree that they survive on almost no oxygen at all, placing their bodies on pause until spring returns. It is a delicate balance, one that would suffocate most other creatures. Yet when warmth arrives, these frogs awaken and resume their lives as if nothing had happened. Their quiet endurance is a reminder that survival often depends not on action, but on patience, on waiting calmly for the world to become welcoming again. Certain shrimp can create bubbles hotter than the surface of the sun. Among the ocean's most extraordinary animals is the pistol shrimp, a tiny creature with a claw that behaves like a weapon from science fiction. When the shrimp snaps this claw shut, it fires a jet of water so fast that it creates a cavitation bubble. As the bubble collapses, it releases a shock wave strong enough to stun or kill nearby prey. For a fleeting instant, the temperature inside that collapsing bubble becomes hotter than the surface of the sun, and a tiny flash of light appears. All of this power comes from an animal only a few centimeters long. Entire colonies of pistol shrimp can sound like crackling fires beneath the sea as thousands of claws snap together. It is almost unbelievable that something so small can harness such immense force. A reminder that nature often hides its greatest power in the most unexpected places. Some birds navigate using Earth's magnetic field. When birds cross oceans and continents, traveling thousands of kilometers with astonishing accuracy, the question arises, how do they know where to go? Scientists have discovered that many birds can sense Earth's magnetic field, using it as a kind of built-in compass. This ability, known as magnetoreception, may involve tiny magnetic particles within their bodies or special light-sensitive proteins in their eyes. Some birds may even perceive magnetic fields as faint visual patterns overlaid on the world around them. This hidden sense guides Arctic terns across the globe and allows pigeons to find their way home from unfamiliar places. To us, Earth's magnetism is invisible and unfelt, but to these birds, it is a quiet map etched into the air itself, guiding them unerringly across vast distances. Monarch butterflies migrate thousands of kilometers. Each autumn, millions of monarch butterflies begin one of the most remarkable journeys in the animal kingdom. Fragile wings carry them from Canada and the northern United States all the way to the mountain forests of central Mexico. What makes this migration even more astonishing is that no single butterfly completes the round trip. Generations are born along the way, each continuing the journey begun by those before them. By the time monarchs return north in spring, they are the great-grandchildren of the butterflies that first set out months earlier. Guided by instincts we barely understand, they find the same forests and even the same trees year after year. To watch a forest fill with orange and black wings is to witness living poetry, delicate travelers following invisible maps written deep within their being. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. The octopus is one of Earth's most intelligent and alien creatures, and even its circulation sets it apart. Unlike humans, octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 pump blood through the gills, while the third delivers it to the rest of the body. Their blood is not red like ours, but blue, colored by copper-based hemocyanin rather than iron. This adaptation allows them to survive in cold, oxygen-poor waters. But the marvel of the octopus goes far beyond blood and hearts. They can squeeze through impossibly small openings, change color and texture in an instant, and solve complex problems with startling ingenuity. To encounter an octopus is to meet a mind shaped along a completely different evolutionary path, a reminder that intelligence can arise in many forms. Crows can recognize individual human faces. Crows are among the most intelligent birds on the planet, with memories and reasoning abilities that rival those of some primates. One of their most striking talents is the ability to recognize individual human faces. In scientific studies, Crows have remembered people who treated them poorly and responded with alarm calls, even warning other crows about specific individuals. Years later, they still remember those faces. But crows also recognize kindness. Some have been known to leave small gifts, shiny objects, or bits of glass for humans who feed them. Watching a crow tilt its head and study you, it's hard not to wonder who is truly observing whom. Behind those dark eyes is a mind that remembers, evaluates, and perhaps even shares stories within its flock. Dolphins call each other by name. Beneath the shimmering surface of the ocean, dolphins live in close-knit societies rich with play, cooperation, and communication. Each dolphin develops a unique signature whistle, a sound that functions much like a name. Other dolphins use these whistles to call to specific individuals, and dolphins can recognize their own names even when another dolphin produces the sound. This ability suggests a deep level of self-awareness and social complexity. Dolphins have been recorded calling out to companions separated from them, as if performing a roll call beneath the waves. To imagine a pod of dolphins weaving through the water, calling to one another by name, is to glimpse a culture of voices echoing through the sea, a language we are only beginning to understand. Elephants can detect storms hundreds of kilometers away. Elephants are giants not only in size, but in sensitivity. Their feet can detect subtle vibrations traveling through the ground, and their ears act like enormous receivers. Researchers believe elephants can sense distant storms by detecting infrasonic sounds produced by thunder or shifting weather systems, sounds far below the range of human hearing. This ability allows them to begin long migrations toward water and shelter well before storms arrive. Elephants also communicate with one another using similar low-frequency calls, sending messages across vast landscapes. To stand near an elephant is to be near a being deeply attuned to Earth's rhythms, one that senses the pulse of the planet in ways we can barely imagine. Whales sing songs that change over time. Beneath the ocean surface, where sunlight fades into deep blue, humpback whales sing. Their songs are long, haunting sequences of moans, cries, and melodic phrases that can travel for hundreds of kilometers through water. A single song may last for hours, repeating in slow, looping cycles as the whale drifts or swims gently onward. What makes these songs truly extraordinary is that they do not remain the same. Over months and years, whale populations collectively alter their songs, adding new phrases and abandoning old ones, as though entire communities agree to reshape the melody together. These changes spread across oceans like cultural waves. A new song may appear in one region and gradually be adopted by whales thousands of kilometers away. Sometimes, entire populations switch to a new song almost overnight. Scientists still do not fully understand why whales do this. The songs may be linked to courtship, communication, or something closer to art. Whatever the reason, their voices turn the ocean into a living symphony, always evolving, always alive. Some bats use polarized light to navigate. As the sun sinks below the horizon, twilight fills the sky with hidden patterns. Light scatters through the atmosphere, forming polarized bands that are invisible to human eyes but readable to other creatures. Certain bats, masters of night navigation, can perceive these subtle cues. They use them to orient themselves during long journeys, reading the sky like a silent compass etched in fading light. Combined with echolocation, this ability allows bats not only to dart through forests, but to migrate across vast distances with remarkable accuracy. To imagine seeing the sky not as dimming color, but as a map of glowing lines pointing the way home, is to glimpse a world layered with information we cannot perceive. Slime molds can solve mazes without a brain. Slime molds are neither animals, plants, nor fungi, but something entirely their own. They exist as vast single cells, slowly creeping across surfaces in search of food. Despite having no neurons and no brain, slime molds display a kind of intelligence that challenges our understanding of thought itself. In laboratory experiments, scientists placed slime molds in mazes with food located at different exits. Over time, the organism extended into corridors, withdrew from dead ends, and reinforced the shortest, most efficient path. It behaved as though it were solving the maze. Even more astonishing, slime molds can anticipate repeating events, reacting as if they remember what happened before. For a creature with no nervous system, this behavior is extraordinary. Slime molds suggest that intelligence does not belong only to brains. It can emerge from the collective behavior of cells themselves, reminding us that thinking is not a shape, but a process. Ants were farming long before humans. Millions of years before humans planted their first fields, ants had already mastered agriculture. Leafcutter ants march in endless lines, slicing green fragments from plants and carrying them deep underground. But they do not eat the leaves. Instead, they carefully mulch them and feed them to cultivated fungi, which thrive in the warm, humid chambers of the nest. This fungus becomes the ant's primary food source. Over millions of years, ants and fungi have co-evolved into complete dependence. The fungi cannot survive without the ants, and the ants cannot live without the fungi. Even more remarkably, the ants host beneficial bacteria on their bodies that produce antibiotics, protecting their fungal crops from disease. What humans achieved only in the last 10,000 years, ants perfected tens of millions of years ago. Leafcutter ant colonies can rival cities. A single leafcutter ant colony can contain millions of individuals, spread through vast underground networks stretching for dozens of meters. These colonies are not simple nests, but complex cities. There are nurseries for larvae, chambers for cultivating fungi, vaults for the queen, and tunnels that function like highways for workers. The queen may live for decades, laying eggs that sustain the colony generation after generation. Communication flows through pheromones, chemical trails that direct labor with astonishing precision. When scientists map these colonies, they resemble human cities, complete with divisions of labor, waste management, and resource distribution. And yet, the architects are blind insects guided only by instinct. It is a humbling realization. Beneath our feet, creatures no larger than fingernails build societies that rival our own in organization and scale. Termites build mounds with natural air conditioning. Across the savannas of Africa and Australia, termite mounds rise like earthen cathedrals, some towering more than 6 meters high. Inside these structures live millions of termites, tending their colony and farming fungi for food. What makes these mounds remarkable is their ability to regulate temperature and airflow with incredible precision. Despite blistering daytime heat and cool nights, the interior remains stable. The mound functions like a living lung, with chimneys, vents, and porous walls that allow air to circulate. Termites constantly adjust the structure, widening or narrowing passages as conditions change. Their engineering has inspired architects seeking sustainable cooling systems for human buildings. To stand beside one of these mounds is to witness a skyscraper built grain by grain, housing a society whose architectural solutions rival our own. Bioluminescent creatures light up the deep ocean. The deep ocean, a realm beyond sunlight, glows with light of its own. Countless organisms produce bioluminescence, shimmering in shades of blue, green, and sometimes red. Tiny plankton sparkle like drifting stars. Fish trail glowing lures to attract prey. Jellyfish pulse with neon patterns, some turning themselves into living fireworks to confuse predators. In the depths, light becomes a tool for hunting, hiding, mating, and communication. Some creatures glow continuously, while others flash suddenly, like silent explosions in the dark. For sailors throughout history, glowing seas inspired wonder and fear. But for the animals that live there, this radiance is language, survival, and sometimes art. The darkest regions of the ocean are, in truth, its most dazzling. Places where the absence of sunlight gave rise to light of an entirely different kind. Fireflies synchronize their flashes across entire forests. On warm, humid nights in places like Southeast Asia or the Great Smoky Mountains, fireflies transform darkness into living light. At first, their flashes seem random, scattered like sparks in the night. But slowly, something extraordinary happens. Entire groups begin to blink together. Thousands of tiny lights pulse in perfect synchrony, rising and falling like the heartbeat of the forest itself. Each firefly adjusts its timing to match its neighbors until waves of light ripple through the trees. Scientists believe this coordination helps fireflies attract mates more effectively, yet standing beneath it feels almost miraculous. Imagine walking through a forest where the air itself breathes in light, glowing and dimming in gentle rhythm. In these moments, insects no larger than grains of rice create spectacles that rival humanity's grandest fireworks. And they do it not once a year, but night after night as part of their ancient dance. Some squid can turn nearly invisible. Squid are masters of disguise. Their skin is packed with specialized cells that can change color, reflect light, or scatter it like glass. With chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores working together, squid can shift patterns instantly, forming stripes, ripples, or perfect camouflage. Some species take this ability even further. By scattering light in precise ways, they become almost invisible, dissolving into the shimmering water around them. Their outlines vanish. Others turn translucent, their organs faintly visible, while the rest of their bodies seem to disappear. In the open ocean, where there is nowhere to hide, invisibility becomes the ultimate defense. It also serves as a hunting tool, allowing squid to approach prey like silent ghosts. What science fiction dreams of already exists beneath the waves, perfected by these strange, intelligent cephalopods. Some sharks glow softly in the dark. Sharks are ancient predators, but some are also bearers of light. Lantern sharks, for example, produce a gentle bioluminescent glow along their undersides, casting pale green or blue light. This glow acts as camouflage, blending them into the faint light filtering down from above and hiding them from predators below. Other glowing sharks may use their light to communicate, signaling to mates or rivals in the darkness. The glow comes from specialized organs called photophores, scattered across their bodies like living constellations. In the ocean's twilight zone, these sharks drift like stars that swim. To imagine a predator glowing softly in the abyss is to see the sea not as empty darkness, but as a quiet theater of light, where even hunters carry lanterns. The Greenland shark can live for more than 4 centuries. In the icy waters of the North Atlantic swims one of Earth's most mysterious creatures, the Greenland shark. These massive animals move slowly through deep, dark waters, often partially blind due to parasitic worms that cling to their eyes. Radiocarbon dating of their eye tissue has revealed individuals more than 400 years old, making them the longest-lived vertebrates known. Some were alive before Shakespeare wrote his plays, before telescopes revealed the stars, before entire empires rose and fell. Greenland sharks grow at an astonishingly slow pace, sometimes less than a centimeter per year. They may not reach sexual maturity until they are more than a century old. Their cold environment and unhurried metabolism seem to shield them from time itself. To imagine a creature gliding silently through the ocean for centuries is to realize how differently time flows for other beings who share this planet with us. Some fish can survive without oxygen for weeks. For most animals, the absence of oxygen means rapid death. But in certain frozen ponds and rivers, where ice seals the surface and oxygen disappears, some fish perform feats of endurance beyond belief. Goldfish and their wild relatives, the crucian carp, can survive for weeks without oxygen by switching their metabolism into an unusual mode. Instead of producing lactic acid, which would be fatal, they convert waste into ethanol, essentially alcohol, and release it harmlessly into the surrounding water. This remarkable biochemical trick allows them to wait out long, suffocating winters in safety. When spring arrives and oxygen returns, they resume normal life as though nothing had happened. While humans struggle after minutes without air, these fish endure timeless stillness, proving that life can rewrite its own rules when survival demands it. Lungfish can hibernate in mud for years. When drought dries rivers into cracked earth, most fish perish. But lungfish, ancient survivors with both gills and lungs, have learned a different strategy. As water disappears, they burrow into the mud and secrete a slimy cocoon that hardens around their bodies. Inside, they slow their metabolism to a whisper, breathing air in tiny, measured sips. In this state, called estivation, lungfish can survive for months or even years, waiting patiently for the rains to return. When water finally flows again, they emerge as if waking from a long sleep. Rather than fighting drought, lungfish endure it through stillness and trust. Their strategy is not resistance, but patience, a lesson written deep into their ancient lineage. Some eels travel thousands of kilometers to spawn. For centuries, the lives of eels puzzled even the greatest thinkers. Aristotle himself wondered where eels came from, unable to find any sign of their reproduction. Today, we know their story is one of the most extraordinary migrations on Earth. European and American eels spend most of their lives growing in rivers and lakes, sometimes for decades. But when the time comes to reproduce, they begin an epic journey across the ocean, swimming thousands of kilometers to the Sargasso Sea. There, in the open Atlantic, they spawn and die. Their offspring hatch as tiny, transparent larvae shaped like willow leaves, drifting on ocean currents back toward distant shores. Eventually, they transform into young eels and enter the rivers their parents will never see again. It is a life cycle so secretive and improbable that scientists still struggle to observe it in full. The eel remains one of the ocean's deepest mysteries. Parrotfish sleep wrapped in cocoons of mucus. When night falls over coral reefs, parrotfish prepare for rest in an unusual way. Instead of hiding in crevices, they secrete a cocoon of mucus that envelops their bodies like a transparent sleeping bag. This delicate barrier masks their scent, making them harder for predators such as moray eels to detect. It may also protect them from parasites drifting through the water at night. Watching a parrotfish nestled inside its shimmering cocoon feels almost magical, as though the fish has wrapped itself in a ghostly veil. At dawn, it breaks free and resumes its daily task of grinding coral with its beak-like jaws, producing the fine sand that forms tropical beaches. Each night, the ritual repeats. A bed spun from mucus, a fragile shield against the dangers of darkness. Male seahorses give birth. In the world of seahorses, traditional roles are reversed. After an intricate courtship dance, the female deposits her eggs into a special pouch on the male's body. There, he fertilizes them and provides oxygen and nutrients as they develop. Weeks later, the male goes into labor, releasing dozens or even hundreds of tiny, fully formed seahorses into the water. This remarkable arrangement allows females to produce more eggs while males take on the nurturing role. Watching a male seahorse give birth is both surreal and deeply moving, a reminder that parenting in nature takes many forms. It shows us that survival is not bound by expectation, and that care can appear in the most unexpected places. Some insects can walk on water. Water striders glide effortlessly across ponds and streams, skating over the surface as if it were solid ground. Their secret lies in physics. Microscopic hairs on their legs repel water, trapping a layer of air that prevents them from breaking the surface tension. With each step, they press against the water's skin, using it like an invisible trampoline. Entire groups of striders can move together, dancing across still ponds in synchrony. For them, the boundary between air and water is not a barrier, but a world of opportunity. To humans, walking on water feels miraculous. To these insects, it is simply everyday life, perfected over millions of years. Water bears can survive extreme radiation. Tardigrades, also known as water bears, are among the most resilient life forms ever discovered. Beyond surviving the vacuum of space, they can endure radiation levels thousands of times higher than those fatal to humans. They achieve this by producing special proteins that shield their DNA, and by entering cryptobiosis, a near-death state in which their metabolism nearly stops. Years later, with only a drop of water, they can awaken and resume life. Scientists study these creatures in hopes of learning how their resilience might one day protect human cells, astronauts, or medical treatments. Invisible to the naked eye, water bears remind us that strength is not measured by size, but by endurance. Some algae live hidden inside rocks. In some of the harshest deserts on Earth, where blazing sun and dry winds scour the land, life retreats into stone. Certain algae burrow into the porous interiors of rocks, living beneath translucent mineral layers. There they survive on faint traces of light and tiny amounts of moisture that seep through microscopic cracks. These endolithic organisms endure conditions that seem utterly hostile to life. Scientists have found them in Antarctica's dry valleys and in deserts so extreme they resemble the surface of Mars. Their existence suggests that life does not require abundance, only possibility. To live inside stone is to expand our understanding of where life can thrive, hinting at what worlds beyond Earth might one day reveal. Lichens are partnerships between fungi and algae. At first glance, lichens look simple, like crusts clinging to rocks or bark. But they are not single organisms. They are intimate collaborations between fungi and algae, or sometimes cyanobacteria. The fungus provides structure, shelter, and access to minerals. The algae contribute energy through photosynthesis. Together, they form a living system stronger than either partner alone. Lichens can colonize bare rock, ice, and rooftops, slowly breaking down surfaces and paving the way for other life. Some have endured for thousands of years in frozen tundra or scorching deserts. They teach us that survival is not always about competition. Sometimes it is about cooperation. Certain bacteria breathe metal instead of oxygen. For most life on Earth, oxygen is the final step in breathing, the molecule that allows energy to flow. But in places where oxygen never reaches, some bacteria have evolved an entirely different solution. Deep in mud, caves, and underground aquifers, these microbes use metals instead. Iron, manganese, and even uranium can serve as substitutes for oxygen, with the bacteria exhaling them as part of their metabolism. As they grow, these organisms create rust-like coatings on rocks and transform metals into new chemical states, quietly reshaping their environments. Their abilities hint at a distant past, a time before oxygen filled Earth's atmosphere. They also suggest possibilities for life on other worlds, where oxygen may be absent. To imagine creatures that breathe metal is to glimpse how flexible and inventive life can be, turning what seems inert into fuel for survival. Some microbes can digest plastic. Plastic, one of humanity's most enduring inventions, now blankets the planet. It drifts through oceans, settles into soils, and resists decay for centuries. Yet even this synthetic material has not escaped life's grasp. Scientists have discovered microbes capable of breaking down certain plastics and using them as a source of energy. One bacterium produces enzymes that dismantle common plastics used in bottles and packaging. Though the process is slow and imperfect, it reveals something astonishing. In just a few decades, life has begun adapting to a substance that never existed in nature before. This discovery is both sobering and hopeful. It reflects the scale of human impact, but also life's relentless drive to adapt, to find opportunity even in the challenges we create. Trees communicate through underground fungal networks, Beneath the forest floor lies a hidden web. Threads of fungi weave through soil, linking the roots of trees into vast living networks. Through these connections, trees share nutrients, sending sugars, nitrogen, and phosphorus to one another. They also transmit chemical warnings, alerting neighbors to insect attacks or drought. Older trees, sometimes called mother trees, support younger seedlings, helping forests survive across generations. Scientists have named this system the Wood Wide Web, a quiet communication network beneath our feet. Though trees appear silent and solitary above ground, below they are engaged in constant exchange. A forest is not a collection of individuals, but a community. Plants warn their neighbors of danger. Plants may be rooted in place, but they are far from passive. When insects begin chewing on their leaves, some plants release chemical signals into the air. These invisible messages drift to nearby plants of the same species, triggering defenses. Leaves may become bitter, tissues tougher, or chemicals released that attract predators of the insects. To human senses, these warnings are silent and unseen, but in fields and forests, they are cries of alarm, a language written in scent and chemistry. Plants are not mute observers of their fate. They are active participants in survival, communicating and responding to the world around them. Venus flytraps can count their prey's movements. The Venus flytrap is one of nature's most iconic predators, a plant that snaps shut on unsuspecting insects. But it does not waste energy on false alarms. Inside each trap are sensitive trigger hairs. A single touch is ignored. Only when a second touch follows within seconds does the trap close. In this way, the plant is counting. After closing, further movement triggers the release of digestive enzymes that slowly break the insect down into nutrients. This remarkable behavior ensures the plant invests energy only when a true meal is captured. It is intelligence expressed without nerves or a brain, patience transformed into strategy. Some plants can remember past experiences. Memory is something we usually associate with animals, but certain plants appear to possess it as well. In experiments, the sensitive plant Mimosa pudica, which folds its leaves when touched, was repeatedly dropped in a harmless way. At first, the plant reacted defensively. Over time, it stopped closing its leaves, as if learning that the stimulus posed no threat. Weeks later, the plant still remembered, ignoring the harmless motion while responding to new dangers. This memory does not rely on neurons, but on biochemical changes within cells. Plants may be rooted, but they are not unaware. They learn from experience, recording the past in their own quiet way. Bamboo can grow nearly a meter in a single day. Among the fastest-growing plants on Earth, bamboo rises with astonishing speed. Under ideal conditions, some species can grow nearly a meter in just one day. Its hollow, segmented stems allow water and nutrients to surge upward efficiently, fueling this rapid expansion. For centuries, bamboo has supported human societies, providing food, shelter, tools, and instruments. Its speed also makes it a symbol of resilience and renewal. While forests may take decades to recover, bamboo can return within a single season, strong and flexible. Its growth is not only impressive, but poetic, a reminder that strength can come from adaptability and power from design. The Titan arum produces the world's largest flower. Deep in the rainforests of Sumatra grows a plant whose bloom is legendary. The Titan arum, sometimes called the corpse flower, produces one of the largest and rarest flowers on Earth. When it blooms, a towering stalk can rise more than 3 meters tall. The flower opens to reveal a deep crimson interior and releases a powerful odor reminiscent of rotting flesh. This smell attracts beetles and flies that pollinate the plant as they search for food. For a few brief days, the Titan arum becomes a spectacle of both beauty and grotesque drama. Its bloom is fleeting, bold, and unforgettable, a reminder that nature's most dramatic moments are often the briefest. Some seeds can remain dormant for thousands of years. Life does not always rush forward. Sometimes it waits. In dry caves, frozen tundra, and ancient lake beds, scientists have discovered seeds that lay dormant for centuries, even millennia. Under the right conditions, with water and warmth restored, these seeds can awaken and begin to grow as if no time has passed at all. One of the most remarkable examples comes from the Arctic tundra, where seeds buried in squirrel caches for more than 30,000 years were successfully revived. Their cells, protected by cold and dryness, preserved the instructions for life across unimaginable spans of time. These seeds carry patience encoded into their being. They remind us that survival is not always about endurance through action, but about knowing when to wait, quietly holding possibility until the world is ready again. Some plants can survive complete dehydration. To most living things, losing water means death. Cells collapse, proteins unravel, and life quickly fades. But certain plants, known as resurrection plants, defy this rule. When drought strikes, they dry out almost completely, shrinking and curling into brittle forms that appear lifeless. Their metabolism slows to nearly nothing, and yet their cells remain intact. When rain finally arrives, these plants unfurl and turn green within hours. Photosynthesis resumes. Growth continues. It is as though time itself had paused, waiting for a signal to begin again. In deserts and rocky outcrops, resurrection plants stand as quiet proof that life can step away from existence without truly leaving it. Coral reefs are built by tiny animals. Coral reefs may look like underwater cities of stone, but they are built by living creatures no larger than a fingernail. Each coral polyp is a small animal that secretes calcium carbonate, slowly building a hard skeleton beneath itself. Over generations, these skeletons accumulate, forming reefs that stretch for kilometers. Inside coral tissues live microscopic algae that provide energy through photosynthesis, while the coral offers shelter and nutrients in return. Together, they form one of the most productive ecosystems on Earth. Reefs support an extraordinary diversity of life, from vibrant fish to delicate invertebrates. Yet they are also fragile, sensitive to temperature and acidity. These vast structures, visible from space, are the work of countless tiny lives, each contributing its small part to something immense. Some corals can clone themselves. Corals do not rely solely on reproduction to spread. Many species can clone themselves through fragmentation. When storms break pieces of coral apart, fragments may settle elsewhere on the reef. If conditions are right, they attach and continue growing, genetically identical to the original. In this way, destruction becomes creation. What appears as damage can lead to renewal, spreading life across new areas. Cloning allows reefs to recover from disturbance, though only up to a point. When change comes too fast, even this strategy cannot keep pace. Still, coral cloning reminds us that life often uses repetition as a form of resilience. Starfish can regrow entire bodies from a single arm. Starfish, or sea stars, possess one of the most dramatic regenerative abilities in the ocean. If a predator tears off an arm, the starfish can grow it back. In some species, a single severed arm can regenerate an entire new body, complete with organs and limbs. This process takes time and energy, but it offers a powerful advantage. Loss does not always mean death. Sometimes it becomes an opportunity to begin again. To watch regeneration unfold is to witness patience in motion, cells slowly reorganizing themselves into wholeness. Some animals age very slowly. Not all creatures experience aging the same way humans do. Some animals show little or no signs of biological aging, a phenomenon known as negligible senescence. The naked mole rat, for example, can live for decades while maintaining stable health, fertility, and resistance to disease. Certain species of turtles and fish continue growing stronger and more fertile as they age. Their cells repair damage efficiently, resisting the slow accumulation of errors that drive aging in other animals. These creatures challenge the idea that aging must always follow a single path. They suggest that time's effects are negotiable, shaped by biology rather than fate. The immortal jellyfish can reset its life cycle. Among Earth's most astonishing beings is a tiny, translucent creature known as Turritopsis dohrnii, often called the immortal jellyfish. When injured, stressed, or nearing death, this jellyfish can revert to an earlier stage of its life cycle. Its cells reorganize, transforming the adult jellyfish back into a juvenile polyp. From there, it begins life again, growing and reproducing anew. In theory, this process can repeat indefinitely. While predators and disease still limit its lifespan, biologically, this jellyfish has discovered a way to turn back time. It is a living reminder that life does not always move in a straight line. Sometimes it loops gently back upon itself. Some animals use tools. Tool use was once thought to be uniquely human, but nature has proven otherwise. Chimpanzees shape sticks to fish for termites. Sea otters use rocks to crack open shellfish. New Caledonian crows craft hooks from twigs to retrieve insects from narrow spaces. These behaviors are learned, refined, and passed down through generations, forming traditions within animal communities. Tool use reveals planning, creativity, and understanding of cause and effect. It shows that intelligence emerges wherever life faces challenges worth solving. To see an animal select and shape an object for a purpose is to recognize a shared spark of ingenuity. Octopuses can solve puzzles and remember solutions. Octopuses are masters of problem solving, capable of feats that rival many vertebrates. In laboratory experiments, they learn to open jars, navigate mazes, and manipulate unfamiliar objects to reach food. What makes this even more remarkable is how they do it. An octopus has a large, complex brain, but most of its neurons are distributed throughout its arms. Each arm can act semi-independently, tasting, touching, and deciding. Once an octopus solves a puzzle, it can remember the solution for months. Some have even been observed watching other octopuses and learning by imitation. To interact with an octopus is to meet a mind unlike any other on Earth, one that thinks not only with its brain, but with its entire body. Bees can understand the concept of zero. For a long time, scientists believed that abstract concepts like numbers were limited to large brains. But honeybees challenged this idea. In carefully designed experiments, bees learned to distinguish between different quantities of objects. Most astonishingly, they demonstrated an understanding of zero, recognizing the absence of items as a distinct numerical value. This ability places bees alongside primates and birds in numerical cognition. Despite their tiny brains, bees process information efficiently, proving that intelligence does not require size, only organization. Each time a bee visits a flower, it is not acting purely on instinct. It is making decisions, calculating rewards, and navigating a complex mental map of the world. Some birds plan for the future. Planning ahead was once considered a uniquely human trait. Yet certain birds show clear signs of future-oriented thinking. Scrub jays, for example, hide food in different locations and remember not only where they stored it, but how long it will last. They retrieve perishable food sooner than items that spoil more slowly. These birds can also anticipate hunger, storing food in places where they expect to need it later, even if they are not hungry at the moment. Such behavior suggests an awareness of future needs, a mind capable of projecting itself forward in time. Ravens understand cause and effect. Ravens are among the most intelligent birds known, capable of reasoning that borders on insight. In experiments, ravens solved multi-step puzzles that required understanding how objects interact. They pulled strings, lifted platforms, and used tools in sequences that demonstrated an understanding of cause and effect. Ravens also remember individuals, form alliances, and even engage in play for no obvious purpose. Their intelligence is flexible and creative, not merely repetitive. When a raven watches the world with bright, alert eyes, it is not simply reacting, it is thinking, testing, and learning. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors. Self-recognition is a rare cognitive ability associated with awareness of one's own existence. When elephants are presented with mirrors, they do not treat their reflections as strangers. Instead, they investigate their own bodies, touching marks placed on themselves while using the mirror for guidance. This behavior places elephants in a small group of animals, including dolphins and great apes, that demonstrate self-recognition. It suggests a deep level of consciousness, an understanding of the self as distinct from the world. Elephants remember long-lost companions. Elephants live long lives, and their memories are legendary. They recognize individuals they have not seen for years, sometimes decades. When reunited, elephants show signs of excitement and affection, rumbling softly and touching with their trunks. They also remember landscapes, water sources, and migration routes across vast distances. These memories are essential for survival, guiding herds through droughts and changing environments. Elephant memory is not merely storage of information. It is a living archive of relationships and experience. Orcas have unique cultures. Orcas, often called killer whales, live in tightly bonded family groups known as pods. Each pod has its own dialect, a distinct set of calls understood only by its members. These vocal traditions are passed down through generations, along with hunting techniques and social behaviors. Some orcas specialize in hunting fish, others in hunting seals, and they rarely change these preferences. Orca culture shapes how individuals interact with the world, much like human cultures shape ours. In the ocean, culture is not written in books, but carried in sound, memory, and shared practice. Some animals mourn their dead. Across species, there is growing evidence that animals experience grief. Elephants have been observed touching and guarding the bones of deceased companions. Dolphins support injured or dying pod members at the surface so they can breathe. Birds sometimes remain near fallen mates for days. While we cannot know their inner experiences, these behaviors suggest emotional bonds and responses to loss. Grief may not belong to humans alone. It may be a shared thread woven through social life on Earth. The human brain changes itself throughout life. Unlike machines, the human brain is not fixed. It is constantly reshaping itself in response to experience, a property known as neuroplasticity. New connections form as we learn. Old pathways weaken when they are no longer used. Even in adulthood, the brain remains flexible, adapting to injury, environment, and habit. This ability allows humans to recover skills, learn new languages, and reshape thought patterns over time. The brain is not a static organ, but a living landscape, always in motion. Sleep changes the structure of the brain. When we fall asleep, the brain does not shut down. Instead, it enters a different mode of activity, one devoted to repair, organization, and renewal. During deep sleep, spaces between brain cells expand, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to flow more freely. This process helps wash away metabolic waste, including proteins linked to neurodegenerative disease. At the same time, memories are sorted and strengthened. Important experiences are reinforced, while unnecessary details fade. Sleep is not simply rest. It is maintenance, a quiet rebalancing of the mind. Without sleep, these processes falter. With it, the brain quietly restores itself night after night. Dreams help regulate emotions. Dreaming is one of the most mysterious aspects of sleep. While the exact purpose of dreams remains unclear, research suggests they play a role in emotional balance. During dreaming, especially in REM sleep, the brain revisits emotionally charged experiences in a softened, symbolic way. Stressful memories may be reprocessed without the full intensity of waking emotion. This gentle rehearsal helps reduce anxiety and integrate difficult experiences. Dreams may act as a form of overnight therapy, allowing the mind to make sense of the day's emotional weight. Even when dreams are strange or fragmented, they may be quietly doing important work beneath the surface. Some people can control their dreams. Lucid dreaming occurs when a person becomes aware that they are dreaming while still asleep. In this state, some dreamers can influence their dreams, choosing to fly, explore, or confront fears. Brain imaging shows that lucid dreaming involves activation of regions associated with self-awareness and decision-making, areas usually quieter during sleep. Lucid dreaming has been studied as a potential tool for creativity, emotional healing, and even treatment of recurring nightmares. It is a reminder that consciousness does not simply switch off at night. It shifts, taking on new and surprising forms. The subconscious processes information continuously. Even when we are not aware of it, the subconscious mind is constantly at work. It notices patterns, stores memories, and integrates experiences below the level of conscious attention. Much of our intuition arises from this quiet processing, guiding decisions without obvious reasoning. While we sleep, this activity intensifies. The subconscious reviews the day, connects ideas, and sometimes delivers insights as sudden realizations upon waking. The mind is never truly idle. Beneath awareness, it is always listening. Meditation alters brain activity. Regular meditation has measurable effects on the brain. Studies showed changes in regions associated with attention, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. With practice, the brain becomes more efficient at managing stress and maintaining focus. The amygdala, involved in fear and anxiety, often shows reduced activity, while areas linked to compassion and calm become more active. These changes are not temporary. Over time, meditation reshapes neural pathways, reinforcing states of clarity and balance. It is another example of how experience sculpts the brain, gently and persistently. The placebo effect can trigger real physical changes. Belief alone can influence the body in powerful ways. The placebo effect occurs when a person experiences real improvement after receiving a treatment with no active medical ingredient. Brain scans show that placebos can activate the same pathways as actual drugs, releasing neurotransmitters that reduce pain or improve mood. This does not mean symptoms are imaginary. The body responds genuinely, guided by expectation and belief. The placebo effect reveals a deep connection between mind and body, one that science is only beginning to understand. Time feels slower in new environments. When we encounter unfamiliar places, the brain works harder to process new information. This heightened attention makes time seem to slow down. As experiences become routine, fewer details are recorded, and time appears to pass more quickly in memory. This is why childhood summers feel endless, while years in adulthood seem to race by. Novelty stretches time. Routine compresses it. Seeking new experiences can subtly expand our sense of life's duration, making days feel fuller and richer. The brain predicts the world before it happens. Perception is not purely reactive. The brain constantly predicts what it expects to see, hear, and feel, adjusting those predictions based on incoming information. This predictive processing helps us move smoothly through the world, anticipating events before they occur. When predictions are wrong, the brain updates its model. Illusions occur when predictions overpower sensory input, revealing just how much of reality is constructed within the mind. We do not simply observe the world. We actively create our experience of it. The sense of self is not fixed. The feeling of being a single, unchanging self is powerful, but neuroscience suggests it is not static. The brain integrates memories, sensations, and thoughts into a temporary sense of identity that shifts over time. Under certain conditions, such as meditation or neurological injury, this sense can dissolve or change dramatically. The self is not a thing, but a process, continuously rebuilt from moment to moment. Understanding this can soften our attachment to rigid identities, allowing more flexibility and compassion toward ourselves and others. Memories are not stored like files. We often imagine memories as recordings stored somewhere in the brain, waiting to be replayed. In reality, memory is far more fluid. Each time you recall an event, the brain rebuilds it from fragments, sights, sounds, emotions, and meanings distributed across different regions. This act of remembering subtly alters the memory itself. Over time, memories can shift, soften, or change detail, not because the brain is faulty, but because it is adaptive. Memory is less about preserving the past and more about making sense of the present. What we remember is shaped by who we are now. The brain edits reality for efficiency. Your brain receives an overwhelming amount of information every second, far more than it could consciously process. To cope, it filters aggressively. It fills in gaps, smooths transitions, and ignores details deemed unimportant. This editing creates a seamless experience of reality, even though much is omitted. You are not aware of every blink, every breath, or every sound because the brain removes them from conscious awareness. Reality, as you experience it, is a carefully curated story. Silence has measurable effects on the mind. True silence is rare, but when it occurs, the brain responds in striking ways. Studies show that periods of silence can activate brain regions associated with memory and self-reflection. In some cases, silence promotes the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, an area involved in learning. Silence allows the nervous system to settle. Without constant stimulation, the mind begins to reorganize itself. In quiet moments, the brain listens inward. Music synchronizes brain activity. When we listen to music, especially slow or rhythmic music, brain waves can synchronize with the tempo. This phenomenon, known as neural entrainment, helps explain why music can calm us, energize us, or bring us into focused states. Music also activates emotional and memory centers, which is why a single melody can instantly transport us to another time in our lives. Sound is not just heard, it is felt, remembered, and embodied. The brain experiences imagined events as real. When you imagine an experience vividly, many of the same brain regions activate as if the event were actually happening. This is why visualization can improve performance, reduce anxiety, and even alter physical responses such as heart rate. The brain does not sharply distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. It responds to meaning more than origin. Your inner world shapes your outer one. Attention changes what you perceive. What you focus on determines what enters awareness. When attention is directed toward one thing, countless other details disappear from perception. This is not a failure of awareness, but a feature. Famous experiments show that people can miss obvious events when their attention is engaged elsewhere. The world you experience is, in part, the world you attend to. Rest improves creativity. Creative insights often arrive when the mind is relaxed, not when it is strained. During rest, the brain's default mode network becomes active, allowing distant ideas to connect. This is why solutions often appear in the shower, during walks, or just before sleep. Creativity thrives in spaciousness. Rest is not wasted time. It is fertile ground. The brain seeks patterns everywhere. Humans are pattern-detecting beings. The brain constantly looks for order, meaning, and connection, even where none exist. This ability helps us learn, predict, and survive. But it can also lead to seeing patterns in randomness, faces in clouds, or meaning in coincidence. Our minds are wired to make sense of chaos. Emotions shape memory more than facts. Events tied to strong emotions are remembered more vividly than neutral ones. The amygdala strengthens memories associated with fear, joy, or surprise, ensuring that emotionally significant experiences are not easily forgotten. This is why emotional moments stand out in memory, while ordinary days blur together. Emotion leaves an imprint that time struggles to erase. The mind wanders for a reason. When your thoughts drift, it may feel like a lapse in focus, but mind wandering serves an important purpose. During these moments, the brain explores possibilities, revisits memories, and simulates future scenarios. This internal wandering helps with planning, creativity, and emotional processing. The wandering mind is not lost, it is traveling inward. Daydreams are quiet rehearsals for life. The brain is highly energy efficient. Despite making up only about 2% of the body's weight, the brain consumes roughly 20% of its energy. To manage this demand, it prioritizes efficiency, relying on habits, shortcuts, and predictions to reduce effort. This is why routines feel comfortable and change can feel tiring. The brain prefers what it already knows. Learning something new requires energy, but it also builds new pathways that make future thinking easier. Habits are formed through repetition, not willpower. Habits live deep within the brain, in regions that operate automatically. Each repetition strengthens a neural pathway, making the behavior easier and more likely to occur again. Over time, the action requires less conscious effort. This is why habits can persist even when motivation fades. Change happens not through force, but through gentle consistency. The brain responds to kindness. Acts of kindness activate reward centers in the brain, releasing chemicals associated with pleasure and connection. Both giving and receiving kindness can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve emotional well-being. The brain is wired for social connection. Cooperation and care are not extras. They are fundamental. Compassion is not weakness. It is biology. Loneliness affects the brain like physical pain. Social isolation activates the same brain regions involved in physical pain. Humans evolved as social beings, and the brain interprets isolation as a threat to survival. Chronic loneliness can increase stress hormones, impair sleep, and weaken immune responses. Connection is not a luxury. It is a need. Sleep deprivation alters perception of reality. Lack of sleep affects attention, emotion, and judgment. When sleep is insufficient, the brain becomes more reactive, less rational, and more prone to negative interpretation. Over time, chronic sleep loss can distort perception, making the world feel harsher and more overwhelming than it truly is. Sleep restores clarity. The brain changes throughout life. Neuroplasticity does not end in childhood. The brain continues to change, adapt, and reorganize itself across the lifespan. New skills, relationships, and experiences all leave physical traces in neural networks. Even in old age, learning remains possible. The brain is always becoming. The present moment is all the brain ever experiences. Although the mind can recall the past and imagine the future, experience always occurs now. Memories are reconstructed in the present. Anticipation happens in the present. Awareness itself is anchored to this moment. Everything you have ever known has unfolded here. The brain evolved to keep you alive, not happy. Much of human anxiety comes from a simple fact. The brain's primary job is survival. It is finely tuned to detect danger, remember threats, and imagine worst-case scenarios. In the ancient world, this kept our ancestors alive. Today, it can create unnecessary worry. A restless mind is not broken. It is vigilant by design. Learning to calm the mind is not about eliminating fear, but about reassuring a system built to protect. Your body listens to your thoughts. Thoughts are not just abstract ideas. They are accompanied by chemical signals that influence the body. Stressful thinking can increase heart rate, tighten muscles, and raise stress hormones. Calm, reassuring thoughts can slow breathing and soften tension. The body responds to meaning, not just circumstance. This is why gentle inner dialogue matters more than we often realize. Breathing directly influences the nervous system. Breath is one of the few bodily functions that is both automatic and voluntary. Slow, steady breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, signaling safety and rest. Heart rate slows, muscles relax, and the mind settles. This is why breathing practices are found in cultures across the world. Each breath is a quiet conversation between mind and body. The brain seeks belonging. Humans are deeply social creatures. Belonging activates reward pathways and reduces stress responses. Rejection, by contrast, triggers threat circuits. This need for connection shapes behavior, culture, and emotion more than logic ever could. To belong is to feel safe. Nature calms the nervous system. Time spent in natural environments reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and improves mood. Even brief exposure to trees, water, or open skies can shift brain activity toward calmer patterns. Our nervous systems evolved outdoors, shaped by wind, light, and living landscapes. Nature speaks a language the body remembers. The brain heals during rest. Rest is not inactivity. It is repair. During restful states, the body reduces inflammation, balances hormones, and restores tissues. The brain integrates experience and prepares for what comes next. Pushing without pause eventually dulls perception and exhausts resilience. Rest is where healing begins. Awareness can change patterns. Simply noticing thoughts and emotions can alter their impact. When awareness is present, automatic reactions soften. Space appears between stimulus and response. This pause allows choice. Conscious attention gently rewires the brain. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts arise and fade like weather. They are events in the mind, not commands or definitions of self. Recognizing this creates distance and relief. You are the awareness in which thoughts appear, not the thoughts themselves. Everything in your body is temporary and renewable. Cells are constantly being replaced. Blood cells live for months. Skin renews itself in weeks. Even bones slowly rebuild. You are not made of the same matter you were years ago. Change is built into your biology. Stability comes not from permanence, but from continuous renewal. Life is resilient because it never stays still. You are part of Earth's living system. The minerals in your body once moved through soil, water, and air. The calcium in your bones may have once been part of coral reefs. The iron in your blood was forged in ancient stars. You are not separate from the planet. You are one of its expressions. Breathing connects you to all life. Every breath you take mixes your body with the atmosphere shared by forests, oceans, and animals. Atoms pass endlessly from one being to another. Breathing is a shared act, a quiet exchange across all living things. Time is experienced, not owned. Time does not move through you. You move through experience. Moments do not accumulate. They unfold and dissolve. Peace comes from meeting time where it is, rather than chasing or resisting it. Stillness is always available. Even in movement, there is stillness beneath. Between breaths, between thoughts, between heartbeats. Stillness is not the absence of life, but its quiet foundation. You are allowed to rest. Nothing needs to be solved right now. Nothing needs to be improved. You have done enough for today. Sleep is a return, not an escape. Sleep is not leaving the world behind. It is returning to the body's natural rhythm, a gentle resetting. As you drift toward rest, the mind loosens its grip. The night holds you safely. Darkness is not emptiness. It is a soft container, a place where effort dissolves and repair begins. You are supported by forces older than thought. Let the day fade. Memories can settle. Plans can wait. Breathing can slow. Trust the rhythm beneath you. Your body knows how to sleep. Your mind knows how to soften. You do not need to guide it. And so, as this journey ends, allow yourself to drift into quiet, into warmth, into rest. You are part of something vast and patient. And tonight, that is enough. Good night.